Welcome back to Buzzed In, everybody. I'm Relix.
I'm Juice.
And I'm Corey.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out last week's video. I noticed, obviously it was about Kobe Bryant, and obviously we had a third co-host. People didn't know yet, and it surpassed the previous video.
Yeah, it did really well.
Day one that we posted it, view-wise.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So yeah, it must be because you're pretty.
Which, by the way,
I finally showed up and people started watching.
I feel like we need to come up with a nickname for him.
yeah.
See, that's what Courtney said too. She was just like, I was waiting for you to have a nickname or anything. I was like, they introduced me as Corey, so
I was.
We will
waiting on a nickname.
not do it during an episode. It'll just happen. Maybe next week. Maybe we'll come up with one next week,
Nape.
and that'll be your name.
Nap. Nasty Nap.
Nappy.
Don't
Nasty.
call me Nasty Nap.
Nah.
Naping and gaping.
Ooh.
All right, we'll revisit.
I don't know about that one.
Let us know what you guys think.
Comment down below.
Imagine.
I might go buy it. Or we might come up with something ourselves.
Yeah, we have a couple different ideas already, I can reckon.
But before we get started on the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Please.
Share it with your friends, everyone you know, your aunt. I'm sure your aunt likes us.
We got a couple fun segments this week too.
Yeah,
a couple
we
extracurriculars.
We sure do. And let's go ahead and comment down below if the three of us were to play golf, who you think would win. Off of no prior knowledge of how either of us play golf. I'd like to see your predictions because we did that today. And I'll let you on a little hint. I won. And then we brought it back to we decided after we played golf at a public golf course that we would open up our own golf course. So that's the big announcement today.
And you see that.
We're
The Buzzed In tour.
that's the big announcement. That's the first big thing we've done as a brand is we opened up our own golf course. And we had the first official Buzzed In tour today. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of that now. We'll watch what happened in hole one. Hey guys, it's Relix. So today we have something special for you. One of the segments we're going to do today actually stems from us playing a round of 18 earlier. You see in my hand here, I have a golf club and I have a ball. And if you look just down here, we have our hole. So today, you're going to watch the members of Buzzed In play a little round of golf. Hey guys, it's Relix. So here we have our bowl of clubs. And what this is in each of these pieces of paper inside this bowl, there is a different club we're going to be using for the video today. So, Juice, if you want to pick first.
Oh, God.
You guys had no idea this is what we're playing. Corey, if you want to pick yours.
All right, what I got?
And I'll pick mine. I got the putter.
I got the racket.
I got the mallet.
Oh, motherfucker.
Coming back to you in a second. Juice is setting up from the white tees today. Let's see how he sets up and how he tackles this hole. He's got the racket here. Interesting choice from the caddy. We're going to have to see how this plays out for him. The way the fairway lies, I'm not sure the tennis racket was the call. But let's see what he decides to do here.
It's got a good angle.
That's just not ideal.
Hit the little skipper.
Not ideal at all.
Out of the off the wall.
Corey also teeing off from the white tees with the mallet. Again, these caddies out here today, not sure what they're thinking. This is not the course to play around on. This is known to be an absolute tyrant to the pros' seasons. Let's see what he does with the mallet.
Ooh.
That was a close one. Right off the back end of the green. You hate to see it.
All right, Relix is lining up for his shot. Can he sink it? We'll find out next. That's a terrible shot, but he just knocked my ball clear.
Predicament here in the tall rough. It just one can only wonder with the tennis racket his caddy's making him use. What can he do here? Oh, the flipsy dipsy.
Does he have it?
Give it to me! Give it to me!
Oh my God, no!
Relix here, second shot. He's trying to make it so he is tied with Justin.
The wall will come into play here.
I am in his backswing.
Terrible shot.
Ooh, just lips the outside.
Corey's going to try to get up and down with his mallet here. Not an angle for the hole at all. He's going for the Banksy.
Gotta get the bank, try to get onto the green.
That's too much.
And he is going to have a long way to go after that one.
Day here.
Checking with Corey, he's looking at his next shot here, and it's just not ideal. He's going with the handle of the mallet again. Didn't work out for him last time. Let's see what happens. Not ideal. It's looking like it's a clear loss. It's a clear win for Juice. Staying live with you, a little B-roll here. Imagine.
That's a stroke. That's a stroke.
How many strokes do we give a kid of this age
Now you're just...
before we just have to go with the amateurs?
Okay. All right, we're up.
Okay, staying live here. Russian. You know, nowadays it's just the kids don't take time to line up their shots. This is very similar. A very good depiction of what today's round went like on the golf course. Corey's just disappointing his fans.
Oh.
You hate to see it.
So, and still farther out.
I mean, at
Yeah,
this
like the
point,
warm-ups. I was actually hitting every shot, but yeah.
you just hate to see
You
it.
just hate
The
to
greens
stop.
are...
How do you tell someone to just stop? Isn't there like a stroke penalty thing?
I think I'm pretty
We can
good.
stop at 10. The carpet's unforgiving.
I was in such a good spot for my next shot. I think we'll stop the embarrassment.
Felix is lined up for his second shot of the day, maybe the third, maybe the fifth. I don't know.
And he's back
I
down.
think it's the
where he was.
10th. Oh, he's trying to use the curvature of the green, and he's in.
That's a solid five.
Thank you. All right, so that was it. As you can see there, Juice did take home the win.
It was a rough day on the course.
But
This
when
guy,
I showed
to
up
say
to the
the
course
least.
today, Juice was already there and practicing. So he got up early this morning.
Before Kevin even woke up, like he woke up and Juice was just in the hallway practicing.
Broke
his
into his
swing.
house.
And I don't know what happened with Corey's swing, but it was the best I've ever seen him
That
play.
was probably about the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah,
one.
it was a rough day out there. I did not have my coffee this morning. Had a couple too many
kicking.
brewskis this morning.
The wind was kicking,
kicking.
So if you guys would like to get on the brand new Buzzed In Tour course, let me know, and I will send you to the website where you can purchase your tee time.
Yep.
Free memberships too.
Fact.
Yeah.
So let's jump off first because I feel like it's the most current, I guess, important revelating news is the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So the Super Bowl was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Yesterday.
guys-
And by the way, we are recording this on Monday,
Oh, yeah, so
February
technically-
3rd.
Just the day after the Super
So
Bowl.
Sunday, this past Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Yes, this
Did you guys
past
watch?
Were you guys surprised by the outcome?
I did not watch all of it.
I think the deficit more or less, but then again, the last touchdown was in the
What was
garbage
the final
time.
score again?
31-20.
31-20.
Chiefs
Okay.
win. I really didn't care who won. Chiefs and 49ers. I was glad to not see the Patriots in there.
That's exactly how I
Yeah.
felt. I know
So,
this guy was
yeah.
a little bit salty about it too.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't watch it. I don't support things that don't have the appropriate people there for it.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
It wasn't a
people
commercial
are
time,
now
it was-
saying that the dynasty is over. Do you believe that?
No, not over yet. Well, when you say the dynasty is over, I consider a dynasty to be over when you completely fall off. When we become the Cleveland Browns, our dynasty is over.
Hey, they're on the up and coming
Hey,
somewhat.
No, they're not.
Hey, they won a game. They went 0-16 one season.
But I will say this. At the same time, if it is over, as a Patriots fan, you can't act like you're not okay with that. I'm tired of being hated. I'm tired of being called a bandwagon. I'm sick of being called a bandwagon. I want my team to lose.
Woe is me.
And I can stand for this guy. He's had a Tom Brady jersey since what? Third grade?
Since before I even watched a Patriots game, I just thought that the fact they were Patriots, the jerseys looked sick. Like
He was
before
all about
I even-
America.
Red, white, and blue.
I'm
I can
just
feel that.
made in
I get
America,
it.
baby.
I
So
get
anyways, they didn't make it. We'll just go there. And is the dynasty over? I don't know. Tom Brady had a commercial during the Super Bowl where he said he is not
Yeah.
done yet. So
Yeah,
we'll
it was
have
kind
to
of
see.
cool.
But you never know. He might actually go to a different team.
You know,
He
maybe.
did sell his house at one point this past season.
I have a feeling.
so
Hang on, I have a feeling though that if we make this about the Patriots, people are going to get pissed. I don't want that to happen. Let's talk about the Chiefs. And 49ers.
So-
I mean, we can talk about
my-
the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is my team, and we have fallen apart 100%. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. We still have a couple key players.
I will. Even though I didn't really care who won, had a small. It was like a 51 to 49% fandom for the 49ers to win just because they beat the Packers and they're NFC. So I was kind of
I
rooting for that.
understand
But
that.
I really didn't care. I didn't
See,
really
like
care.
it's not my team. I kind of root for whoever has the most Buckeyes.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
As
the thing
soon
is
as I see
both sides had Buckeyes on them, so I was, but
Kind of just leans towards.
31-20. The last touchdown to get 31 for the Chiefs was sort of in garbage time, but
Yeah.
it still counts. My biggest beef with the whole Super Bowl was that Patrick Mahomes got MVP. Okay,
Instead of-
and he played like absolute shit. Okay, like Patrick Mahomes he's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
He didn't show up.
But he did not play MVP status. He threw 2 interceptions. I think he only had maybe one passing, or he had 2 passing touchdowns, but he had 2 picks, and like he was just making a lot of mistakes. Damian Williams, the running back for the Chiefs, had 3 touchdowns. Okay, give the guy the MVP.
Yeah.
But like we were talking earlier today, I feel like they just give it to the quarterbacks now. Like that's what it is.
99% of the time, it's going
like
to be a
you said,
QB as the MVP. It's
not
not going to be a defensive player,
Not even
wide
just the
receiver,
touchdowns,
running
but
back.
you had mentioned how many third down conversions were accomplished just based off handing that guy the ball. He
Yeah.
played like an absolute.
Oh,
animal.
he was a monster.
Even
But
if it was like a close call to the sideline, he would make a play and actually get those extra yards.
Yeah, right.
That's what I loved about, like, I didn't actually get to watch the game, as you guys know, but we watched the highlights and everything. And just based off of what I saw through the highlights that we actually watched, Chiefs were able to convert on third downs. 49ers were able to early in the game, but late in the fourth quarter, they weren't actually able to make those plays. They weren't reading it right.
And I tell you this. I think he's a good quarterback. He's an above average quarterback, but Jimmy Garoppolo is just not there yet. And people, what I think is unfair for him is, like, yeah, he got his team there, but their defense is what got them to the Super Bowl. But my thing is, people expect so much from Jimmy Garoppolo just because he was the backup to Tom Brady for so many years. So they just expect him to just be Tom Brady.
Not just that, but
he's good. He's a good quarterback.
You can't knock him. He had a good game.
He had a
It's
good
just
game.
at the end, it's making
he
those
made
plays
mistakes.
and knowing how to use clock management.
Exactly. He made some mistakes, but there was a couple. I think there was a lot of coaching mishaps for the 49ers
Most
as
of
well.
the time, yeah.
Like they didn't take a timeout when there was like a minute 30 left in the first half. They got the ball back, and they didn't take a timeout. They just ran the score down. Like, you have a minute 30 left. They had 3 timeouts. Just ran the clock out. I'm like, why aren't you trying to go for something?
Right.
It's a Super Bowl. Go for broke, you know?
Exactly. Super Bowl is the time that you bring out your trick plays, all your fourth down plays, that you want to get that conversion just in case, because at that point, you make it to the Super Bowl, you're doing anything to win.
Football is a game of inches. We all know that.
Flea
you know?
flicker 3 times.
You know, those small little things can add up. Even if you don't convert, it's a matter of, like, you assert your dominance if you pick up these certain amount of yards. You know what I mean? That's how that is. You know, you guys played football. You know, I played football, so you know what kind of impact that can do to the opposing team if you do something like that.
Right. Especially a turnover on downs. As
yeah.
soon as that happens, you've seen it so many times in every different game.
There was quite a few turnovers.
Yeah. But also, I mean, of course, everyone knows about the Super Bowl halftime show is probably one of the biggest events throughout the whole year. Like, when it comes to the entertainment industry, like music and stuff, it's a huge honor to get the Super Bowl halftime show.
Right.
This year it was J-Lo and Shakira.
I know, put a
me
smile
personally,
on my face.
Yeah, I was super happy about. I'm not like a huge J-Lo fan. Personally, I think she's overrated, but you know,
love her.
People are probably gonna hate me for that. But you know what? Who cares?
How can you hate on J-Lo?
But Shakira, man, that's my lady, first of all. But I think she stole the show, honestly. Like,
she definitely stole
I think
all
so.
the memes.
She did a really good
of the
job. But
night.
did she get the memes? She did that weird.
Everybody tied it into like
I don't know
SpongeBob
what-
with Patrick and
I thought it was
everything.
hilarious. And I'm like, I guess there was some sort of thing. There's a name for what she did, but anyways, I thought it was hilarious, and I was like, hell yeah, she's just up. I feel like she was up there just having fun, and so she looked directly in the camera and did it. So I don't know, but it was cool though. I thought it was a decent halftime show, especially compared to what there's been in the past few years. I feel like sometimes people it's getting to be like they're doing too much for the halftime show.
Yeah.
Just perform and do your thing.
Wasn't it like Katy Perry that performed
She
a
was,
couple
like, on
years
top of
ago
a
and
lion or
everything? And that's
something.
where
I'm
like
like,
the shark
stop
meme came from
doing
and
this
everything.
stuff, man.
That was a little overdone.
Rebecca said that in her mind, every year the Super Bowl halftime show has pretty much gone downhill or disappointed ever since Bruno Mars. She said Bruno Mars had a great show.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't get on that.
I mean, I
bandwagon,
can't
but-
get on that either. Yeah, I can't.
That's what she said.
Typically,
I believe Rebecca.
Because she even said Maroon 5 did a shit job, and she likes Maroon 5, and she thought they did bad.
Yeah, I actually. What's funny is I seen on Facebook they do like the memory post. My memory for today was Maroon 5 was shit for the Super Bowl halftime show. You know, like, so that's just funny. And I used to be a big Maroon 5 fan, not anymore. But anyways,
I mean, I still mess with their music. Like,
yeah,
most
I
of their
like the
hit
older
songs,
stuff,
I'll still
you
throw
know.
into a playlist or something, just time to time.
Either way, though, it was a good game. It was a really good game, even though the score doesn't really show that. It kind of seems like if you look at the box score, you're like, okay, the 49ers beat the crap out of the or not the 49ers, the Chiefs beat the crap out of the 49ers, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, you watched the
It was
game
a
progress.
one touchdown game up until like the last like 10 seconds.
It was a good
You watch the
you
game
know?
progress, and it goes up by a matter of 3 to 7 points each time. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
no 14-point spread
Yeah.
until the very end. That last 2
Yeah.
minute drive.
It was a good
That
back
was
and
the
forth.
like.
And that's the thing.
Exclamation
And,
point
and that's the
on the
thing. When
game.
your team isn't in it, I feel like I just want to watch a good game.
And it was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It was a great game.
Like if the Packers are playing, I want them to win by 60. You know what I mean? But
Easy.
they weren't, so I'm just like I
Easy
want to watch an
breezy
entertaining game.
I agree. So, hats off to the Chiefs. One more little fact I saw that I thought was funny was there was a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, the commercials were hilarious.
There was a Super Bowl
Were they?
commercial where Lil Nas X did some sort of meme on like the Old Town Road music video
Yeah.
for the commercial, and then he posted a picture because that night it became the second trending song on
Really?
charts after he did this. I don't know if it's
Really?
like he reminded people of
That's
it or
crazy.
whatever, but
Was there were some good shows, halftime shows. They had the Tom Brady one that you said for Hulu Sports. You want to explain that? I mean, I remember you
Yeah,
said
so-
some of them I didn't see.
the
all
Tom
of them.
Brady one was black and white, and he starts off talking about how there's a huge announcement which he feels like would come best from him to his fans. And so everyone's like shaking, thinking he's about to like announce he's retiring during the Super Bowl. And he gets going, he gets to saying something about how, this is really big news for everyone. And I just, I'm glad I'm able to deliver it to you directly from myself. The greats always know when to hang it up. And, as of right now, Hulu also has TV series along with great movies.
And
so
live
it was a
sports.
Hulu promo
Hulu has
ad.
live sports.
The biggest tease.
It was so funny because
So, and then at the end, he goes, so with streaming on the up and up, TV may be on its way out, but me, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the preview.
and
of the
it's
special.
funny
That's
just
legendary
because,
right
I mean,
there.
if like people are always, this offseason, people are asking if Tom Brady's going to come back. So that's what was,
Yeah.
the
Well-
thing about it. So
One more
Just
thing
depends
about
where.
the Super Bowl, because we're almost halfway through the episode. It's got to be a short one this week. But I forgot to mention this, and I felt like it was one of those epic parts of the whole Super Bowl, was The Rock. Did you guys see that video?
No.
When he introduced the 49ers? Oh, my. I'll show you both, and we'll do a little cutaway to it now in the video so that people can watch it.
okay.
All right, faithful, it's about that time. We all know about this storied franchise, the rings, the legends. But tonight, it isn't about them. It's about this team. If there's a way to get that W, trust me, they will find it. Starting with this man, Jimmy G, leading his team to 15 wins and counting. Going for it all.
So yeah, anyways, he did the absolute most epic team introduction we've ever seen. And I mean, you guys can
Was he
tell.
doing like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like WWE
Like The
style, like
Yeah, yeah. He's
That's
in
the
character.
best. I
He's
just
in
watched the
character.
movie the other day
Like,
where it
if you
portrays
smell-
wrestling and all that.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him like, "Hey, like, what makes you different and everything? Like, what gives you that extra, like, to get the crowd?" And he went through a whole chant.
oh man, he's
I got
good.
so fired up. I was like, "Dude, I'm
He's
ready
good.
to run through
I
a
love
wall.
The Rock.
Like,
Yeah, dude.
I love you."
When he- yeah, and they haven't seen it yet. I will show them after we're done recording. But now you all have seen it, so you know what I'm talking about.
The my favorite commercial, quick note, was the Jason Momoa commercial. If you guys didn't see it, it was at it was like one of the first commercials of the Super Bowl. But Jason Momoa, the guy who plays Aquaman, and he's played in some other stuff too that I'm a fan of.
Game of Thrones.
He's a funny ass. Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a funny ass guy too. He did a commercial with Rocket Mortgage, is what it was, and it was like, oh, Rocket Mortgage, of course, does helps you buy homes and stuff. So he's like, the commercial's about what is a home to you, and he's like, pretty much it's him coming home, and he's like, oh, I get to really be myself, and
Yep.
get to
Just
really
a
be
place
me.
where I
So
can be
as he's
myself.
doing this, he's kicking off. He walks into his house, he starts kicking off his boots. Then he like starts pulling off his arms, like they're fake prosthetic arms, and he's like this. He pulls off his arms, and then his like chest, and he's like this real skinny, like bird-chested guy. And then he sits down on this thing. He's like, oh yeah, and then rips off his hair, and he's bald on top. It's so funny, man.
Crosses his legs and he's like,
No, he didn't take the beard off. He was just sitting there. He had like long hair on the sides, but it was bald on top. So it was hilarious.
just
man.
maybe like 2 or 3 hairs on top, just strand to the
And
side.
he's just sitting there, and I was like, "That's fucking hilarious."
That's cool. So again, obviously commercials are great. Shout out to the Chiefs. Apparently it was a really good game. Sorry I missed it, but the highlights we were pretty entertained by. So
People were really surprised that they actually pulled it off. Like, I understand that the 49ers are a good team, but at the same time, like, Chiefs, if they get down, they can come back no matter what. I've seen them score 28 points in, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
It's doable for them. So to ever, like, count them out of the game, crazy.
right. Well, two teams that, going into this season, until maybe you watch the first few games of the season, no one would have said, you know what, this year I think it's going to be 49ers and Chiefs.
Oh, I know.
I know
Which
the
I
Chiefs,
like that.
it'd
I
have been-
like that,
it'd be
yeah.
two. And it's like a Cinderella match for either of them. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, I'm cool with either one winning.
They definitely picked up a couple key players. They got Bosa, rookie in the draft and everything. They
For the
picked up
Buckeyes.
Emmanuel Sanders halfway through the season.
Yeah.
That added to the receiver core, and he made a couple of big plays for them, like down the stretch of the end of the season as well.
Right.
Do you guys know what's going on in the world right now, by the way?
Not a clue.
I know worldwide pandemic is occurring.
dude.
If
It's
that's what you're
scary.
referring to.
Why don't you tell me about that?
I'm
gonna
'cause
segue
I
into
am
that
in the
because-
dark about this.
It can be. So
It's
okay.
scary.
So first thing first, let's not go total fear factor on this, because that's where everyone else is taking their angle from online, and that's why everyone's freaking out. So first things first, no matter how scary this thing actually is, every article you see and link to online is going to be 10x scarier than the actual pandemic, because if they do not apply that fear factor to their headline of their
gonna
article,
get
you don't
praised.
click on it, they don't get paid for you to click on their website.
Yeah.
So first things first, just because an article has 2,000 likes on Facebook or 1 million retweets on Twitter does not make it real. So the coronavirus, what a coronavirus is, there's actually thousands of coronaviruses that are known to us. This is what someone would call, and what they should be calling, a novel coronavirus, which just means like a one of a kind kind of thing.
Okay.
And what it is and what it stems from, which is what all worldwide SARS, like all these things come from, that everyone looks at as like plagues or like pandemics, is when a virus or a viral being actually makes a jump from a different animal to a human, and humans have not experienced it yet.
Right.
So humans as a
So
species,
it's an immune system thing, of course.
so humans as a species, as an animal, has never had this virus to build an immunity to. And obviously, since we never had it, we also don't have a cure. We don't have direct treatment from it. So all doctors are able to do
So everyone's freaking out.
is provide supportive care, which is like when you start to have flu-like symptoms and you're dehydrated, they'll hydrate you. They'll give you IV fluids. They'll treat your symptoms, but we
They'll
can't treat what
quarantine
the
your
virus
ass.
is actually. So there's quarantines going on. So the virus originated in Wuhan, China. And apparently there was over 300 Americans there at the time. And in terms of Chinese cities, it's not a large city, but there's 11 million people in it. I mean, we're talking China.
And 300 of them were Americans. What are the odds?
So 11 million are in the city. It breaks loose, and the problem with it, and what does make it scarier than most flus or anything, because another argument you're going to see, which don't be humbled by this argument. Another argument you're going to see a lot is people say, well, look at the deaths that the coronavirus has had. It's under 1,000. Look at the deaths that the influenza caused in the U.S. this year. It's 10,000. Sure, but the influenza went on for 4 months. We're just now finding out about this. And the scariest part about it is the way it's mainly being given from one person to another right now is asymptomatically. It's people who are not showing signs that they're sick. They have no idea that they have it, and they're
Really?
just out in public places.
Yeah.
There have been cases so far. The people that were affected in Germany got affected by a lady who flew from Shanghai. No one's talking about that. Now, that's a scarier city. You're not talking about an 11 million city in Wuhan, China. You're talking about 40 million plus in Shanghai.
Anything can
And
happen.
and she flew from Shanghai, so she must have got it in China, flew to Germany, spent a week there, flew back, and it wasn't until she landed back that she started to feel ill and infected people in Germany while she was there. She had no idea she was sick, and they were spreading this thing that is potentially killing people. Now, the one positive thing or not positive by any means, but what I mean is to kind of calm your nerves about it, there has not been a death reported outside of, excuse me, a death reported outside of China yet.
You a drink, buddy?
But what about? Now I've heard. No, of course I don't know, because I know of the thing, but I really don't know all these details like you're explaining. So I'm learning this with you guys, honestly. I heard that there are some cases in the United States, or what's
Eight.
going on?
Eight people have been
It's like in
diagnosed in the
California,
U.S.
isn't it?
We have so here's what's up. 8 people throughout the continental U.S. have been diagnosed and are being hospitalized and or quarantined in a small fashion. What they haven't told you is that there are 200 plus being quarantined in California right now, and a National Guard, Naval, Air Force flying base, whatever. They flew all the Americans in that were in Wuhan, China, and then landed them there and then quarantined them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean,
Because
that's a smart
they
thing
could
to
all
do,
be
contain it to
asymptomatic.
one area.
Yeah, but that was nowhere in the news. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
like dug and dug and dug until I found that.
This guy went on the dark web.
And
I can see him just digging for 8 hours in the night.
it's just because it would cause panic.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But no,
We live in a sensitive society.
yeah.
Bad news, like
100.
they say like aliens are real. Not to bring up that subject, that can be for another topic or another podcast, which we did have a podcast one time. But like even that kind of news, do you guys really think that they would tell us about it, or even like the thought of
Not that amount.
They tell us about it, but here's what's up. It has been proven in the past because, by the way, if you've noticed, like 80% of the items most Americans use somewhere on the item will say made in China. They're the largest export country in the world.
Yeah.
And
90%
their
of our
largest
shit.
export in history has been pandemics, diseases. It's because you have so many people. Imagine New York City, how it feels like shoulder to shoulder. That's a mild city in China.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they are packed into each city. So when something happens, like a virus or something, it spreads like crazy. So when China, it is proven in history, when China tells you, when they report that 600 people have been infected, which is the number they keep hitting us with, it is not 600, it is 60,000. That is what history shows us. They will always let us know something's wrong, but we will never know at scale. There's a video which I will try to find, and if I find it again, I will put it in this video now. And it is a video of Wuhan, China, and the streets are completely empty. And you hear a lady on the intercom going throughout the streets telling people about the virus. They're on a complete lockdown. There was no one walking around the streets.
That's scary shit. That's like a
It really
it's
is.
fucking
That's like
horror
Resident
movie,
Evil
man.
You
type
want
of
to talk
stuff.
about being scared? It's scary over there.
When
By
I
the
heard
way-
about this
by
virus,
the
that's
way-
exactly what I
by
thought.
the
I
way,
was like,
so-
so we got
and-
some
and-
Resident Evil stuff
So
over
here's
here.
the thing. I don't know how true this is, but I've been seeing all kinds of like pictures and memes about it all over the internet. So there's a medical lab, like a medicine lab or whatever like that, a disease control lab type thing, that's in China, and it says it's like very short distance from ground zero of the coronavirus,
Yeah.
and and the logo of them is a blue and white umbrella. And if you guys are familiar with the games Resident Evil or the movies, the Umbrella Corporation, it literally looks the same exact logo
How
except for it's
coincidental.
blue and white. I mean, I'm just saying.
I want to know if that's true. Like, I need
That's what
some
I'm saying. I don't
deep-
know.
I'm gonna do some deep investigating
yeah.
about that because,
It's
like,
always-
Umbrella Corp. Okay, no.
That's fucking crazy.
It's always possible. They are very persistent on the fact, and history does show that it does come from when it jumps from one animal to another. But that does not mean that it wasn't given to animals either. I mean, you never know.
Another conspiracy thing to add on to the Resident Evil thing was that was Corona. If you rearrange the letters, they go to Raccoon City. Bam.
Is that a thing on Resident Evil?
Raccoon City is the city
Yeah.
that the whole outbreak happens.
Ah, that's
Yep.
funny. That's
So-
crazy.
You know,
That's interesting. Coming to you live from Raccoon City.
Conspiracy nuts. Let us know in the comments. You guys can also do some searching as well. We'd love to hear all the input.
I
Go
want
ahead
to
and
know
drop
more
a comment.
because, like,
I'm just here
You
to
know,
give
I want-
the
I just
flat
wanna know.
facts. So we had someone diagnosed in Boston, age 20. He had came
God.
back from China and then was diagnosed with it, but he did the smart thing. The second he started to feel flu-like symptoms, he went straight to his doctor. He's being hospitalized, but they think he's making a full recovery.
what city was this?
China.
No, he was
Or-
he was in Wuhan,
No, I'm saying what city's he in
Boston.
now? Go Sox. I'm saying I had to do a shout out.
So
I see what you did there.
So he was diagnosed. We had one or two people in. We had 2 people in Ohio. We had now 4 in Germany, and there's definitely a total of 8 in the U.S., not including the 200. Because now when you talk about who has it, who doesn't, it gets a little scary because we don't know if someone has it because they're not even showing symptoms and they're just spreading it.
Yeah, it could be just like standard illness as well.
And I still have not seen anyone talk about the fact that this lady flew to Germany from Shanghai. Shanghai is a big, 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 big city. And if she brought it with her from there, who has it there? It's really scary over there. I'll tell you that, man. I just hope they keep it mild over here. They declared it a global alpha emergency, and then just the other day, the U.S. declared it a United States emergency. So
That's crazy.
But I mean, like, kind of take it with a grain of sand as well. Like, you can listen to the news and everything, but it's a tale as old as time. Human species
Beauty and
always
the
can actually, like,
Beast.
over time we've developed immunity to a lot of diseases as we come across them over time. Maybe this is just another thing. So, like, still keep updated on everything that's
of course,
going on.
What was it? There was another pandemic thing that happened a couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, that people were freaking out about. Ebola.
Yeah. Like, where's that? Not around. Like, if you eat bad chicken or whatever, or is that E. coli?
E. coli.
Okay, so they're two different
Or
things.
eat
My
anything
bad.
from Chipotle.
yeah, most of the time we build immunities just after it kills a few 100,000. of us.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, necessary sacrifices. No,
Hey,
I'm kidding.
That is nature. No matter what.
Wow.
We can try to prevent it, but things happen.
No, yeah, that's crazy. So
It is still a very bad thing.
yeah, it is.
Just to get that
So
across to
a couple
everybody.
quick- a couple quick,
Still,
a
like,
couple
if you
quick,
feel bad, go to the doctor.
Ending news stories before we get off the show here. So do you guys remember who Greta Thunberg is? Do you guys know who that is?
Name sounds
Do you guys know
familiar,
who that
but
is?
no.
So she is the environmental activist
yep.
who she's the teenage girl. She did the speech at the UN.
She went to the UN.
Yeah, and did
that's
this
right.
whole thing and all this other stuff. So she's like a huge activist. She's pretty much a celebrity now. She has actually been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Wow.
So that's
How
really
old?
cool. I don't know how old she is. I want to say she's like 17.
I wouldn't say she's young. No, I think she's younger.
Crazy.
No.
Maybe younger than that?
I think I'm pretty sure she's between the ages of 10 and 14. They had it was like a young, like preteen / very early on
Okay.
teenager meeting before the UN
Yeah.
to have people from that age discuss environmental issues and stuff, and that was like the whole
Yeah.
thing of it. That's how it blew up so big.
that's-
because of how young.
Dude,
they
I
are.
didn't even want to do my laundry at 16, and she's winning Nobel
It's
Peace
either
Prizes.
it's either
and
that
stuff.
she's that young now, or she was that old, like when she
During
first
this
started
speech.
getting
I think
buzz.
the speech happened like a year or so
Yeah.
ago, right? Maybe.
But she's very
We'll look
young
into
either way.
it.
She's
Yeah.
very young either way.
Yeah. Another thing is that Marvel has they've released the first looks at. So they made a Falcon movie. So if you guys know
Okay.
Falcon,
Yeah.
he's the guy that Captain America gives the shield to at the end
As
of
the new
Avengers.
Captain
Spoiler
America.
alert if you haven't seen the end game yet.
Late spoiler
So they're making
alert.
a movie of his. They're making another Winter Soldier, which I'm excited about
okay.
that. And then they are making a It's called WandaVision, but Wanda, she's one of the Avengers,
Yeah.
the one that does like the red moving stuff around.
In
with
my
her hands.
opinion, the strongest Avenger that
You think
there is.
so?
Yeah. Like, the only other one
Who's the
I would say
strongest
would be
Avenger?
Captain Marvel, but
Captain Marvel is by far the strongest Avenger. She's the
I
Superman
would
of Marvel.
agree with you in that aspect, but Wanda still has those abilities that you have no clue about, and they only showed you those like glimpses of what she could do.
I guess you
But
gotta watch
even
the movie and find out.
She was even like, I'm blanking on the main villain character's name.
Thanos?
Yeah, Thanos. How he was able to use the Moonstones and shut up. Use the Moonstones, move like mountains, like Earths. She could do that with her mind. Captain Marvel can't do that. She is like a nuclear supernova. Captain Marvel is, but at the same time, like you can do stuff
The
with your
Hulk
mind.
can't die.
But I'm saying, here's the thing: Captain Marvel,
Don't even
Captain
start.
Marvel. Why
Marvel?
Marvel? What the hell? Captain Marvel is the
I'm sorry, hang on. When you said Captain Marvel, the first thing that popped in my head was
Labracadabrador.
a Labracadabrador. Nope. That's hilarious.
Labrador.
Was it, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, Barnacle and Bubble Boy?
Mermaid Man and Barnacle.
Wait, Mermaid.
Barnacle Man and
Can
Bubble
we get a
Boy.
rewind on what he just said? Because I don't know what it was.
Barnacle and Bubble Boy.
It's all
He said, what did he say? I know it is, but he
I
said,
said Barnacle Boy Barnacle and Bubble Boy.
To the chiropractor!
Mermaid Man and
Bubble
Barnacle
Boy is not a
Boy.
villain. Bubble Boy is from like a 90s movie.
Bubble Boy is Jake Gyllenhaal, bro. So they're also making a.
Of course you would know that.
Yeah. So they're also making a Loki movie, which I didn't know that.
See, I like
So
that.
That's cool.
They've been keeping
Yeah.
it low key though.
Wow. Crickets for that one. I'm just kidding. Dad jokes. Then the last thing, I don't.
I hope you all heard that. That was a bomb.
That was him, by the way.
Straight
Not
faced it
me,
too.
Not Corey.
Were you talking?
I was.
Were you filling us in on the story?
Jesus.
I don't even know what
Whoa,
you're
I
saying.
said the F
I'm
word,
too
sorry.
baffled by that.
So something I don't really give a crap about, but apparently YouTube people do. Who that? Jake Paul. I heard of this guy. Don't know the. Never seen a
Jake
video.
Paul fought Anderson Gibb. I got you. Don't worry about
Okay,
it. Close the article.
but he apparently challenges KSI, who
Yeah,
I also don't
close
know.
the article. Close the article. KSI fought
Did he
Logan Paul.
re-challenge him again?
No,
For
hang
the
on.
third time?
KSI fought Logan Paul for a second time, which is Jake Paul's older brother.
Oh,
And
God.
the first fight they
must
draw,
get things done.
the first fight they had a draw. The second fight KSI won.
Yep.
So what had happened was Jake Paul, which by the way, when KSI won his first YouTube boxing fight, the exact call out he had in the ring was Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any Pauls, I want to fight. So he pretty much called out anyone. He did not specifically. He had no beef with Logan. He wanted to fight one of them because he's the most popular entertainer, creator, YouTuber in the UK. KSI is, and the Paul brothers at the time were easily the biggest buzz on YouTube in the US.
They still make buku bucks every single year because of it.
So that's why he called them out. He ended up fighting Logan because Logan was the older brother, and it worked out for the narrative because KSI has a little brother named Deji who fought Jake Paul, and Jake Paul beat Deji. KSI in the rematch had beat Logan Paul.
So we got a little cross match now.
And then what had happened was Jake Paul said, "I still never got my fight with KSI." And KSI, which by the way, now that I'm filling you guys on a story, tell me how much of a homie KSI is. KSI goes, "You know what, Jake, you want your fight?" By the way, these kids are all making the headliner fight, the Logan Paul and KSI fight, headlining a title match for DAZN when they fought.
Which is
they are
crazy
above
because they are just YouTubers that wanted to fight. They consider themselves professional boxers, but they put actual professional boxers below them in lower fights compared to them as a title
And it's the
fight.
smartest
money,
thing.
man.
It's the smartest thing they've ever done in boxing.
Blows my
I'll tell you
mind.
why. Just the other day at work, I heard someone go, "Man, is boxing making a comeback? It's all over TV now." Because when you put someone on a undercard and when you headline someone who has 23 million subscribers, they didn't come into the boxing league with no one knowing their name and started boxing. Try to build a name for themselves, have 1 million people that watch them fight, and then had a headliner fight. They came into DAZN with 23 million people each, different people, unique people from different countries. They made the narrative like a UK versus US thing. The buzz around it was insane. So when I was saying KSI was a homie, KSI beats Logan Paul. Jake Paul says, "I want revenge for my older brother." KSI, "I want to fight you." And KSI says, "I'll fight you, Jake, but first you got to fight Anderson Gibb," which is one of KSI's friends. What a homie, because Anderson Gibb goes out there and gets paid about $3 million to fight, which he would have had no chance in fighting because he had been trying to fight Jake Paul for months, and Jake just kept ignoring him.
That's
he was like,
clutch,
"Dude,
too.
who are you? Dude, who are
This
you?"
whole
I look at him
YouTube
and be
boxing
like,
thing is
"Thank
weird
you so
to me.
much."
But they've
Even
taken
if you lose, you make money.
They've taken it super, super serious. I will give them that. Logan Paul went into a 9-week training camp after training for 6 months with Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Let's go, champ. And then when when Jake Paul just now trained up at Big Bear, he went during Christmas and everything, went to his training camp, was with Sugar Shane, bro. They're taking it seriously. These guys are training him. They have both now been licensed as professional boxers. And
Foxers.
if you watch Jake Paul's fight, the dude did look really good fighting. It was weird. He really trained hard.
You can tell where he's still a novice in it.
And
just
so now-
because, like, those little things, once he gets in a tight predicament, like, that street fighting comes back in where they just want to throw hands instead
I
of
don't-
actually keeping that
Did
tempo
you watch
up.
the one that happened like 2 days ago? Because Jake Paul really fought well. You'll have to look it up.
No,
he
the
really,
last fight I saw was
God.
with KSI. You
Jake
messed the globe up.
Paul, we'll look it up together. Jake Paul really fought well. And everyone was super shocked with that. So anyways, now KSI said you have to beat Gibb. They call him Big Gibber over in the UK.
Respect.
They undercarded the headline that night. Jake Paul beat him in, I think it was like 40 seconds of the first round, TKO. Destroyed. And the KSI
Okay.
got in the ring. They got in each other's face. And so now they're supposed to fight.
How have I not seen anything?
And
about
everyone's
that?
saying that KSI should not fight him. He already got his dub. He already got his bag. And if he goes and loses to the guy's little brother that he fought the first time, it's like, dude, you got the rep now for being a winner. You started the YouTube boxing thing. Everyone's taking over now, and now Logan Paul's trying to challenge another YouTuber named JMX to a UFC fight. Because they both, the Paul
Let's
brothers.
see how far we can take this.
The Paul brothers. I think Logan Paul was a like all-time state wrestler in their high school. Like he was like known for wrestling, and now he's
I
learned
can
a little bit
believe
of
that.
boxing.
Logan does look like the type of guy.
Diesel.
That, yeah.
So, anyways, that's what you were looking up. I'm assuming was that Jake Paul beat
Yeah.
Anderson Gibb. Is that the thing you were saying you didn't care about, but YouTube does?
Well, I was just saying that. Well, I guess the thing was that he beat him, but then
Right.
it was him challenging KSI. I have no idea who the freak these people are. Honestly,
Only person I
you
know
out.
is Logan, just because of his videos.
I've heard of like the Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I've heard their names. Couldn't tell you what they look like. Couldn't point them out.
It definitely started as just antics, like trying to get their name out there, just doing dumb stuff, doing this and doing
Right.
that. But now that they've blown up, they actually use their, like, I want to say pretty much power to actually present a
Do stuff
platform
like
that people
this.
can follow and relate to and actually do different stuff and show people like what's going on.
Right.
Even with this boxing thing, it opens a lot of different people up to a different world that they have never experienced
I
before.
agree. And it's natural. I always, and I feel like people don't think about it this much enough. To me, it's just like the human nature to like violent competition. Oh
yeah.
In middle age days, they watch people get in an arena and literally fight to the death.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we're just a little more civilized, but we still like to go watch people get in there and knock each other around.
And
So,
yeah.
to give you a sneak peek on one of the stories for next week, may or may not be big, but I will find the rest of the details on it. I have found that apparently the 11th Circuit U.S. Appeals Court in Mobile, Alabama ruled it legal for employers to deny a job offer for somebody just because they will not get rid of their dreadlocks. We'll talk about that next week.
What?
Until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please.
Episode 11 coming next week. And until then,
Stay buzzed in.
To the chiropractor! Away!